there, my name is Rachel Hyland and welcome to this very special training on how to double your salon profits this year. So, who exactly is this training for? It's for you if you are a salon owner and you are up and running, so you're established, you're ambitious, you want to go places. It's definitely not for you if you haven't opened your salon yet, or if you are very new to the salon industry and perhaps you've got hardly any customers yet. So we need to have salon owners who are ambitious and established and wanting to double their profits this year. Okay, so at the end of this training, you will know exactly what to do to make this your best year yet, and also exactly how you're going to do it. Sounds quite simple, doesn't it? Stick with me and we'll find out how. So a little bit about me. You might be wondering, how do I know how to tell you to have your best year yet, how to double your profits this year? Well, I've been in the beauty spa clinic industry for 18 years now. I've built up a chain of successful salons across the northwest of England. In my first year of business, actually, I generated around £16,000. I remember checking this recently. And not a lot of money really for a whole year in business. But now I will generate that amount of money in 1 week. So a 52 times increase. So we're not looking for a 52 times increase for your salon. We're just looking to double your salon profits this year. So now I also spend a lot of my time, besides running my salons, I now spend time each week spending time with salon owners just like you to help them grow their business and become more successful. However, it has not been plain sailing. I have had some serious sleepless nights, worry over VAT returns, overheads, the cost of buying equipment, and oh my God, the staff. We all know about the staff, don't we? Not to mention the pandemic, where we were closed for God knows how long. It has been a seriously stressful time. So I know exactly how you feel. However, as well as that, I've had some very magical moments. I've won multiple awards in my salons, and yeah, it's been fantastic. It's a truly wonderful industry to be in, isn't it? Especially when you get the big wins and the clients that have transformations that are so delighted. And as well as that, I'm also a writer. I write blog articles all the time. I write for some magazines and I speak as well. Okay. Let's go back. So, as I just mentioned, I work with salon owners just like you, and I know exactly what holds them back. So I set up this arm of my salons called Come and Copy Me. So I now actually invite salon owners just like you to come and copy me. I know some salon owners get really worried about being copied by people, but I know that you are totally unique, and whatever you do, you will put your own stamp on it. No one can be you other than you, and no one can be me other than me. So I have no problem inviting other salon owners to me to help with their business. So now we are definitely in the era of the professional salon owner. And this is how we need to start thinking. So let's get going with this training today. Now you might be thinking, well, how on earth, Rachel, am I going to double my profits this year? Since it is a torrid time. It has been, hasn't it, for the last 2-3 years now. And it doesn't seem to be getting any better. However, our industry is hugely resilient. And if you look through the stages of history, we know that in every economic crisis, in every downturn, there are always people who buck the trend and do better than ever. And it's completely true in our industry too. In fact, salons and this industry is so very resilient. And we have customers who are just brilliant because they will wade through hell and high water to come and see us, won't they? So this is not, you don't need to be concerned about the times and the challenges that we're facing, because you can still buck the trend too. The key, however, to do this is that you need two main ingredients. You need to think properly, and you need to do the right things. So it's a very simple equation, thinking properly and acting on what you're thinking, doing the right things. But you'd be surprised how many people do not do this. Okay, so yes, we've got to understand the threats. I've just mentioned a few of them. So yes, energy prices are going through the roof. We have inflation, which basically means that everything is costing more and more and more. So every time you go to the supermarket, the petrol station, everything is going up in price. Interest rates are up too, which basically means that if your customer has a mortgage, then it's likely that their mortgage will be costing them more every month, which basically means that your clients have less money to spend if they have a mortgage and are subject to interest rate rises. So not only that, but in the salon itself, the cost of our supplies are higher than ever before. And of course, wages, particularly the minimum wage, is seeing a huge increase. So it's definitely costing you and your salon more money to run every day, every week, every month. And we have customers who have less money. However, you mustn't be frozen by fear, because there is power in knowing this information. So as I've said, it means our clients potentially have less money. So what does that mean? It means that some of your customers may stop coming to you entirely because they don't have the money. It may mean that your clients come to you less frequently. So instead of coming to you once a week or once every 2 weeks, they might stretch it out to once every 3 weeks or once a month, because they just don't have that money to spend. So overall, there's a shrinkage, isn't there? Everything is shrinking. So the available number of customers and the amount they have to spend is getting less overall, which sounds like bad news, doesn't it? However, it isn't bad news, because if you know this information, then you are definitely in control. You have power. And that is exceptionally good news, because it means that if you think properly, you know that some of your customers have less money. So what it means is that you now need to attract the customers that have the money still to spend, or the people who are bucking the trend who have more money to spend. So you are fighting for a smaller share, but if you know this, you can do the right things to make sure that you attract the clients who still do have the money, or even potentially have more money to come and spend it with you. And that's why this training is so important. However, you'll find that most business owners don't think that much at all. In fact, they just kind of fumble their way through the days, the weeks, the months, doing the same thing, doing the same treatments, putting very little thought into it. They open a salon and perhaps, they like waxing, hair removal or brows, and they potter along doing those things, hoping that Mrs. Jones will keep coming back to them every 2 weeks. So you are incapacitated if you don't start thinking. You really need to start thinking like a proper business owner. And this is what you need to recognize. You actually get to decide what's going to happen in your business this year. It isn't just by chance. Yes, if you fumble along like some of the average salon owners, you are not going to decide. You are going to be the victim of what is happening in the world, but you don't need to be the victim. You can decide exactly what's going to happen in your salon this year. So it's accurate to say that this year will be bad for many people. It will be bad for some salon owners, like I've just said, but it won't be bad for everyone. For the salon owner who wants to think properly and act properly, actually, they can thrive. And I know, because I'm in my 3rd recession, and I have thrived through the previous 2 because I've done the right things, and you can too. It's definitely not down to luck. Definitely not down to luck. It's definitely down to what you do. Okay, so the difference between the winners and the losers, as I've said already, is really down to how they think and what they do. So we need to start thinking properly. So what will most salon owners do? The ones who don't really think. I'll tell you what they'll do. They won't invest any money this year. If anything, they will spend less money. They won't take any risks at all. And they'll just be hoping and praying that they get through the year and that they will survive. But that's not going to work. You need to start thinking now about how you're going to attract those customers, the shrinkage of customers, so that they come and spend the money with you, and in fact they spend more. It's not a time for you to shrink away. Just because the market's shrinking, it doesn't mean to say that you should be shrinking. No, you should be thinking clearly and almost expanding, but we're going to take a look at that. So here we're going to get down to it. The 5 most useful steps that you can take now for your salon to make sure that you are one of these thriving salon owners. Okay, number 1, you need to have a clear target or a goal. Basically, what that means is you need to have a number, and this number has to be significant for you. So let me ask you this question, or which question is better? How is my salon going to survive this year is question number one. Number two is, how can I add £50,000 to my salon revenue this year? So which would be a better question for you? How am I going to survive, or how am I going to add £50,000 or £30,000 or 20,000 or 100,000? You can pick the number. So you can see immediately, can't you? If you change the question, it changes the way you think straight away. It changes your attitude. But basically, you can choose your own goal. It might be, how do you go from paying yourself £1,500 or £2,000 a month to how do you go to pay yourself £3,000 or £4,000 a month? It might not be a turnover figure for your salon. It might be a take-home figure. In other words, the amount of money that you are actually paying yourself. That might be a good question for you. So figure out the question is number one. The target, the goal, the amount. Number two is take control of what you can control. You can actually control more than you think. Okay, so you need to focus on the things that you can definitely take control of right now, and do not fixate on the things that you can't control, because you can't control interest rates, you can't control inflation, you can't control what the government's next move is, you can't control what Rishi Sunak's going to do next, you can't control how much people are spending in general, you can't control gas and electricity prices. So you need to totally stop worrying about it all. So we've got a few pointers in this control section here. So the first one is control your attitude. You know, controlling your attitude is so, so important. I'll show you why. You get to choose your attitude every single day. You know, if you keep turning on the news and turning on the radio and hearing how, you know, this disaster's happened, the interest rate's gone up again, the gas prices have gone up again, people are on the breadline, you're going to wake up and think, oh, this is tough. It is tough to be a business owner. It's tough to live in this world. It's tough to live in this era right now. And that is not the attitude you need. You need to have the best attitude you can about your business. You need to have the best attitude you can with your clients. And by the way, no one is born with a bad attitude. I was a birth partner this week for my friend, and this little beautiful baby was born just 2 days ago. And he came into the world and I witnessed it, and I thought, wow, what a miracle. And that little boy could be anything he wants to be, but he certainly hasn't come into this world with a bad attitude. So I've got a little story for you, actually. This story came about, well, I first heard it thanks to an American author, personal development coach, and an international speaker called Mary Morrissey. You should look her up, actually. She's fantastic. And she told the story of a barber's shop in America. And this barber shop had been handed down from generation to generation. It was in the 5th generation of this family. And the father who ran the barber shop was having a terrible time. He was down and out. He was really thinking that he was going to go out of business. Anyway, his son came home from university, college as they call it, and said, "What's wrong, Dad?" And the father said, "Well, son, we've had it. We're going out of business. You know, a new franchise of barber shops is opening across America, and we just can't compete with them. We're not going to. Our sales are down. Our profits are down. We can't carry on like this. I just don't know what we're going to do. We've had it." And the son said, "No, Dad, don't. No. For every question that you ask, there is a solution. We can find a solution to this problem, to this question. We just need to write down all of the possible solutions to this situation we've got." So the dad was like, "Well, I can't think of any. I just can't think of any. We've had it." But the son said, "No, Dad, no, come on. We're going to do it. We're going to write down all of the things we can think of that's going to revive our business and bring us back to life." So the father agreed, and the son said, "Right, come on, let's get writing." So they were writing down all of their possible solutions and what they could do to revive their barber shop. And the father was really, he felt so dejected and rejected because this new franchise were doing $5 haircuts. So he just said he couldn't compete. But the son said, no, Dad, come on, we've got to write down all the solutions. Anyway, within 10 minutes, they came up with this solution to their problem. And do you know what the solution was? Well, they put a big sign above their barber shop which said, we fix $5 haircuts. And within 2 months of this brilliant idea, the barber shop was generating more income than it ever generated. Its profits were up by 20%. And the point is that there is always a solution. There is a way. You just have to have the right attitude. You have to ask the right questions, thinking properly and acting. And I think it's a brilliant example, especially now for salon owners in this day and age. So here is my attitude success chart. We need to start off with positive thoughts. Positive thoughts give us positive attitudes, which lead to positive communications. If we have a positive attitude and we are dealing with our clients every day, so, we're doing their waxing treatment, their laser, their skin treatment, their massage, that positive attitude will come across in a positive way to our clients. They will feel that positivity from you instead of like oh, it's so hard in business right now. It will make a difference. Your positive communication will result in definitely a memorable experience for your clients. And that definitely turns into loyal customers. Our loyal customers come to us time and time again. And that turns into a profitable business. And that profitable business will fund your lifestyle. So it is all connected. So from the moment you wake up in the morning, you have to think positively. Okay, so what else can we control in our salons and in our lives and in our way? We can definitely control our diary. But do you? Or are you back to back in the weeds? Are you literally back to back 5 days a week, or the days that you work, so busy doing all the jobs that you haven't got time to think properly and act properly? Because I find when I speak to salon owners that most of them, their biggest problem is that they are back to back in what I call the weeds. It's not that your clients are weeds, by the way, but if you are constantly back to back, you can't think properly and you can't act. So either way, you are responsible. So if you want to make money, you've got to stop making excuses and you've got to stop putting yourself in the weeds, because making money and making excuses are not compatible. They do not go together and you cannot do both. So you need to do something about it. And what that means is you need to clear a path. You need to clear a path through the weeds so that you have time and space in your head to protect your ability to think properly and act properly. So that means that you need to stop doing all of the doing. I mean, how many of you, and I used to do this 15 years ago, 16 years ago, all of the treatments, you're doing the bookkeeping, you're getting all of your receipts together, you're putting it all into your computer, you're sending it off to your accountant, you're dealing with all the wages, you're adding up all the hours, you're doing the cleaning, you've not got a cleaner yet, you're doing the rotors, you're sweeping the floor, you're making the tea, you're ordering all the products, you're doing everything that distracts you. You're probably even filling in for your staff when they're ill, when they go on holiday, you're probably the holiday cover. I mean, you are probably running yourself ragged. And I used to do it too. And then I stopped. And then I became successful. So you need to stop doing all the doing and you need to start making time to market your salon properly every single week. Because the key is that you can't elevate your salon until you find time to elevate it. So marketing, now don't get scared here and think, I don't know anything about marketing. You don't need to know anything about marketing, but you need to know that it's as important as doing the treatments in your salon. You need to find time to do some marketing, and marketing just means communicating with your customers, but you need to find time to do it. So what else can you control? So you can control your attitude, you can control your diary, and you can also control how you cater for your clients. So what do I mean by this? Well, I'm sure you know this. We live in a different world right now, don't we? And it's not going to go back. It's definitely not going back. But when I opened my first salon 18 years ago, this world did not exist. This mobile phone world didn't exist, where people can do everything on a mobile phone. Mobile phones were barely in existence. They were in existence, but they weren't smart. But you'll probably notice yourself now that some of your clients now would rather not even speak when they book an appointment. They don't want to necessarily phone you. They want to do everything in their own convenient time. They would rather book your services online or message you via WhatsApp or message you via Facebook, which is more problematic because you've got more avenues for dealing with clients. However, if you don't offer some of these avenues, you are seriously losing out. You can't rely on answering the phone and booking people in anymore. So this is it. This is an example of my website. I have the ability for people to book online instantly. So it's crazy what you find. People book online at 2 o'clock in the morning when they can't sleep. But if that facility wasn't there, you'd be losing that booking. They'd be booking somewhere else. And this ability to chat with you, people love being able to chat with you. Because people just don't want to talk so much anymore. And then WhatsApp is another facility which people use a lot. So if you don't have these things, you are seriously losing out. I mean, some of you may not even have a website, so you need to get the website too. Here's a little statistic for you actually, which is a brilliant graph. So this is a recent statistic which shows that the average monthly revenue for salons offering online booking is the purple bar here. So those who offer an online booking versus salons who don't offer online booking here. So the difference is between this purple line and this purple line. The difference is thousands and thousands of pounds. It's about £7,000-8,000 difference. So you're basically pouring money down the drain if you are not offering online bookings. And we know from experience and through surveys and statistics that clients expect a 5-star salon to offer an online booking. So if you think you're a 5-star salon and you don't offer an online booking system, you're not a 5-star salon, because that's what people expect. That's what they want. You need to offer it. So if you are not online, then you are definitely making a conscious decision to earn less money for you and your staff. You are choosing to earn less money if you're not online. You could be generating 80% more income just by being online. So don't make that mistake. And the salon owner who makes that mistake is the salon owner who does not think at all. They're just, as I said, moseying on down every day, every week, the same, and they're not thinking at all. If you're not thinking in business, you are regressing, you're going backwards. You seriously need to think and start acting on those thoughts and get online. So, a little summary of our taking control. So we definitely need to control our attitude, stop worrying about the news, stop considering inflation rates, interest rates, what the government's going to do next. Control your diary. Okay, stop doing everything. You are not the dog's body, the cleaner, the tidy upper, the person who does all the orders. You're not the cover for all the staff. You're not the bookkeeper. Control your diary and cater for your clients properly. Make sure you are giving them the options to get in touch with you and to book with you properly. Okay, so once you've done all that, number 3 on my top 5 things to do to double your profits is you've got to have a plan to double your profits. And your plan needs to be based on the numbers. Now, when you start talking about numbers, a lot of salon owners are like, oh my God, numbers. No, I'm not good at maths. I can't talk numbers. Don't do this to me. But you've not got to shy away from the numbers. You've got to have a basic grip on some numbers. So what kind of numbers are we talking about here? Well, in business in general, whether it's a salon or whatever business it is, there are 2 types of numbers that we need to focus on. We need to focus on money in or activity. So the money you're putting in to generating more income for your salon, or money in could be money that you're putting into Facebook ads, money that you're putting into Google ads, or it could also be activity. So the number of emails that you're sending every week, the number of text messages you're sending, the number of phone calls you're making. So there are several numbers that you can track, or you could choose to track 1 or 2. And then the numbers out on the other side, numbers out or results out, is how many new customers are you getting that week? How many clients in your database potentially? How many bookings have you taken that week? How much have you generated in treatment sales, or how much have you generated in voucher sales? Because the more activity and the more in, the more you should get out. So you can track these numbers, and I'm going to show you an example in a moment, that the more activity you're putting in, the more you are generating out of your business. And if you are tracking, for example, the number of emails you send this week and the number of people on your database. So if you've got 1,000 people on your database and you send 3 emails, you've sent 3,000 emails. How many of those emails have converted to a booking this week via your online booking system? Hence, you need an online booking system, as opposed to if you've sent 1 email this week. You will notice the difference. If you send 1 email and you have 1,000 people on your database, you may get 2 bookings. If you send 3 emails, which is 3,000 people, 3 times 1,000, you might get 6 bookings. And then you start to see that there's a correlation between the activity in and the results out. Okay, it's a simple equation. So do one thing at a time and you'll start to realize that you'll have a flow, what's working for you. So this is my recent example from December, my online voucher sales, which I have tracked via email sends, because most of my voucher sales at Christmas time, so throughout December, I generate through sending emails. So it's a trackable type of thing. So in December 2022, I sold £12,500 worth of vouchers online. So a significant amount of vouchers. I actually sold almost the same again in Salon. That's people coming in and purchasing them in person. But we're just doing voucher sales online. So primarily I did it all by email, and I actually sent an email virtually every day for 18 days to a database of 3,500 people. So that's 3,500 people on my database, and I sent an email to this many people 18 times. So once a day for 18 days, which is basically 63,000 emails. So it's actually a lot of emails, isn't it? So we can work out how much I generated per email sent. So I generated £12,500 and I sent 63,000 emails. That works out at £0.198, which is approximately 20p. So for every email I sent, I was generating approximately 20p in voucher sales. So 3,500 emails times 20p. For every campaign, I was generating £700, because remember, my database had about 3,500 people on it. So every time I sent one email with 3,500 people it went to, it generated me around £700 per email. So what do you think I did? I sent more emails, because I know that for every email I send, approximately I'm going to generate £700 in voucher sales. And this is just thinking smartly and looking at my numbers. You don't have to be a mathematician really to work that out. So here's another set of numbers for you, completely different this time. If I said to you, right, so you can buy a machine, a new piece of equipment, it's going to cost you £300 for the machine per month, and it's going to cost you £2,400 in consumables. So the things that you need to carry out the treatment, whether that's like a new head each time, a new needle, a new flash lamp, whatever it is for that particular treatment. So it's going to cost you £540 per month to pay for this machine and the things that you need to carry out the treatment. Would you invest in that machine? £540 a month. So it's quite a lot of money. So what do you think most salon owners would say? Most of them would say, no, I'm not paying that. It's too much. But it's a blind figure. It's a blind question. That's not the answer. The answer is, well, it depends on how much money I'm going to generate. So here we go. These are real figures from my salon, actually. So yes, I did invest in that piece of equipment, and that's exactly how much it cost me. And actually, from the second month, I generated £4,200 per month in revenue, minus the £540 it cost me, which was basically £3,660 every month in extra money. Basically £40,000 extra money per year is what it generated me after I'd taken out the cost of the machine and the cost of the consumables. Who would say no to that? It's a no-brainer, isn't it? So we've just got to look at the numbers, but we've got to know what we're looking at. And this is exactly how a professional salon owner thinks. They think properly, they break things down, and they act accordingly, like I did in that example there. Okay, so we've got a plan potentially, but your plan then needs a schedule. So it's all right having a plan, but if you can't put your plan into action, then you may as well not have the plan. So we need to have a schedule to get it done. Okay, so what does that mean? Right, well, it means you need to make space through the weeds, which we've already discussed, haven't we? So this is an example of my diary, actually. I've blurred it out so you don't know who anybody is. So this is my schedule here. So this lovely space, this path through the weeds, is my space to put my planning into action so that I don't get lost in the weeds, doing all the doing and not making time to put your plan into action. So my schedule is, well, I try to allocate 60 minutes a day. Actually, rather than doing it in 60-minute slots per day, I actually do it in slots of 90 minutes around 3 times a week, because I prefer to do a little bit longer in 90-minute slots. But I would suggest that you need to do this too. So you can either block yourself out an hour every single day, or block yourself out an hour and a half 3 times a week, or 2 slots of 2 hours and another space somewhere else. But you really need to start scheduling time for yourself to move your business forwards. So 5 hours a week is what I estimate it will take for you to double your salon profits if you follow the plan. Make time, and in that time, execute your plan. So in summary, back to the start, we need to have a target and a goal. We need to have numbers, don't we? We need to base our target on numbers. So whatever that number is for you, like I said, it might be that you want to increase your own personal takings from your salon from £2,000 a month to £4,000 a month, or £1,000 to £2,000, or whatever the figure is for you. You also, number 2, you need to take control. And these are things you can control. Stop worrying about the things you can't control and start concentrating hard on what you can do for yourself and your salon. So your attitude is everything. Remember the barber shop, they found a solution because they had the right attitude and they asked the right questions. You can very much control your diary. Stop doing all the doing. And you can cater for your clients. And the number 1 thing there is making sure that you are giving them every available opportunity to book their appointments with you and not with your competition. You need to have a plan based on the numbers. So there's a different way of looking at numbers. It might be that you decide you're going to sell more vouchers, like I showed you in December for my salon, or get a new piece of equipment. And then once you've made a plan, you need to make a schedule and reserve time in your diary to put your plan into action. So there's 4 of 5 of our 5 points today for this training. Okay, so what is number 5? Number 5 is become a professional salon owner. We are in the era of the professional salon owner, not the salon owner who just continues through their day like they always did. You need to elevate yourself to be a professional salon owner. So that means all the things we've spoken about, but it also, you need to recognize the fact that you are probably excellent at what you do. You know, whether you are a massage therapist or a lash extension specialist, or you do laser hair removal, you do aesthetic treatments, skin treatments, microneedling, or you do a bit of everything, you might be absolutely the best there is at what you're doing. But it doesn't mean to say that if you're the best you are at that thing, that you are the best salon owner, or that you are the best at running your business. Because when we take on our businesses, when you go to college and you learn how to do what you do, or the training that you've done, They don't teach you how to run your business. They teach you how to do the microblading or the lashes or the laser or whatever it might be. But you definitely don't get taught how to run a professional salon. So ask yourself, are you a professional salon owner? You're probably excellent at what you do, but are you excellent at being a professional salon owner? Because that's what makes the difference. So this is a brilliant little set of slides here, because it's showing you the difference between a wannabe salon owner and a professional salon owner. So I have this like 20-point checklist that shows you what a wannabe salon owner does and what a professional salon owner does. And we're going to give you a snippet right now. So this is number 4 actually on my 20-point checklist. So a wannabe salon owner hopes for the best. A professional salon owner has a plan and a schedule and is in control. Everything that we've spoken about so far today. Okay, number 5 on my checklist. A wannabe salon owner confuses activity with productivity, working hard, going nowhere, doing the cleaning, making the tea, ordering all the products, covering all the staff. A professional salon owner, however, thinks properly and understands the difference between knowing something and doing it. Number 7. So a wannabe salon owner works very, very hard, don't get me wrong, but works as a therapist in their own business. It's like they're almost employed to be a therapist. Whereas a professional salon owner has less of a therapist role and chooses their activity on a daily basis. So myself, I actually still do carry out some treatments because I love doing it and I like to be in touch with my customers in that way. And so I do still carry out treatments, but it's very much a choice. It's not because I have to do it. It's very much a choice. So if you're a professional salon owner, you can be that discerning. You can make that choice. You can decide, yes, I'm going to do treatments on Tuesday morning and Friday afternoon or whatever it is for you. But you're not a back-to-back therapist working in your salon. Okay, number 8. We've spoken about this. A wannabe salon owner most definitely avoids their numbers because they don't understand the business properly and they are maybe too scared to look at their numbers. But actually, numbers don't have to be scary. They can be really quite simple. Whereas a professional salon owner really does understand that business is a numbers game. It really is. Numbers in and numbers out. And you might find it tough at first, but you'll find that if you start tackling it and stop being scared of it, you'll soon get a grip of the numbers in your business. And it's really important that you do this to become another step forward in becoming a professional salon owner and working out a way to double your profits. Okay, do you do this? A wannabe salon owner looks at their bank account almost every day because kind of petrified about how much money's in it and if they can manage to pay their staff or pay themselves this month, as opposed to a professional salon owner who runs their business and because they know their numbers, they keep track financially of what's going on, and actually they rarely check their bank account because they have a complete grip of what's happening in their business. Okay, so number 10, a wannabe salon owner tolerates a hell of a lot of that in their business. And you know what? There's no shame in that. I used to be one of those people a long time ago. I tolerated all kinds of nonsense in my business. And that's one of the main things that made me think, you know what, I'm not doing this anymore. Whereas a professional salon owner has standards and does not tolerate nonsense. And don't forget, the more you tolerate things that you shouldn't be tolerating, the more you get those things to tolerate. We always get more of what we tolerate. You need to stop tolerating the nonsense and put your boundaries in place. Because at the end of the day, you're the professional salon owner. You have invested a lot of money to start up your salon. You probably have had so many sleepless nights. You work so hard. Don't tolerate the nonsense. Filter it out. So they are the 5 most useful steps that you can take for your salon this year to double your profits. In summary, you need a target and a goal. You need to take control of what you can control, definitely your attitude, definitely your diary. and making sure you're allowing your customers to book with you. And you need to have a plan based on your numbers. But aside from that, if you've done all those things and you have no schedule, then you're dead and buried. So you definitely need to do those things, but you need to make the time as well. You need to have a schedule to execute those things, to act on them. And you need to become a professional salon owner. So I hope this training has helped you today and given you some snippets of changes that you can start to make straight away to make a big difference to your business. And I would actually really like to help you some more. As I said, I help salon owners every week. I offer free phone calls actually. If you want a phone call with me, you can have one. And I want to send a message out to ambitious salon owners that I would like to help you some more by offering you the opportunity to come and spend a day with me on my 1-day Become a Professional Salon Owner course. It's a 1-day event at my flagship salon, which is here, this one here, in a place called Parble. It's a little village off the M6 motorway in the northwest of England between Liverpool and Manchester. So I invite you to come and spend a day with me and go through the 20-point checklist. I've given you a few today for you to become a professional salon owner. On that day, we're going to focus on those 20 points so that you are equipped with everything you need this year to do all the right things, to have an action plan, to help you understand what you need to do, have all the tools that you need to put those things in place, and give you practical help really to find out exactly what you need to do for you to become a professional salon owner and for you to drive your business forward so that you can double your profits. So like I said, it's at my salon Radiant Living, just off the M6 motorway. So very accessible. It's about 5 minutes off the motorway between Manchester and Liverpool. Lunch is included, and I will even give you a personal tour. Actually, next to my salon, we have a training room. So the training will take place in the training room, but I will give you a tour as well of the salon and answer any questions that you might have. So this training day is normally worth £250 with me. We'll go through the 20-point checklist, but I'm going to offer it to the first 10 salon owners who want it for just £99 today. So it's completely affordable. I am really offering it to you so that I'm not trying to make any money from you basically. I just want you to do the best thing that you can do, because I think salon owners work so hard, like myself, that you deserve to have a great salon, a great business, and make money to live the lifestyle that you want. And I've helped quite a lot of people over recent years, and here's a couple of people who've said some nice things about me. Laura here from Renew Medispa. I've started paying myself properly for the first time ever thanks to Rachel's help. She is a salon owner in the northwest of England, actually not far from my salon, who I've helped considerably recently, and it's true, she has started paying herself for the first time ever and started paying her staff more, so she's delighted. Another one here, Danielle from another clinic in the northwest. I've made more money in the past 4 months than I have in the whole of last year. I actually helped Danielle with introducing laser hair removal to her salon. I'm a big equipment geek, so I helped her introduce laser hair removal, and that's why her profits went whoosh. And it's true, she made more money in 4 months than she did in a whole year previously. So back to summary for you to improve your salon and increase your profits. Your key for this year really is to think properly and to do the right things. If you have any questions at all that you'd like to ask me, you can email me here, rachel@comeandcopyme.co.uk. Don't forget the Rachel has an AEL, that's a common mistake. So Rachel with an AEL at comeandcopyme.co.uk. If you have any questions about today, if you've got any questions about the training, then ping me an email there. And if you'd like to come to the training, you can click below this video for the dates and to book your ticket, which is just £99 for the first 10 salon owners. And I hope you'll join me, and I look forward to seeing you there. In the meantime, good luck with everything, and I will see you soon.